Welcome to episode 98 of the Peak Performance Podcast. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most practical, life changing topics we have ever covered on this show: how to train for the modern physical fitness test across every branch of the United States Armed Services. We're going to break down the standards, build out real workout programs for men and women of every age and every branch, and show you exactly how the average person, someone who has never run more than a mile or done more than 10 push ups, can become a peak performer with nothing more than the right training plan and the right food on their plate. No shortcuts, no gimmicks, just honest, proven work. Let us get into it. What peak performance actually means. Before we talk about tests and training programs, we need to agree on what peak performance actually means. It does not mean being the fastest person alive or having the body of a magazine cover model. Peak performance means operating at the highest level your body and mind are capable of right now while building towards something greater tomorrow. It is a process, not a destination. For the men and women who are preparing for military service or who are already serving and want to dominate their next physical fitness evaluation, peak performance is very specific. It means running faster, doing more push ups, doing more sit ups or planks, and doing it all within the exact standards your branch requires. It means showing up on test day and knowing, not hoping, but knowing that you have done the work. The average person who hears the word military fitness immediately assumes they are not cut out for it. They picture elite special forces operators running through jungles. But the truth is that the standard fitness tests across all branches of the military are designed to be achievable by ordinary people who train with purpose and consistency. You do not need to be extraordinary to start. You need to be willing to start. The extraordinary part comes later, and it comes naturally when you follow a smart program. Consistent effort. Show up every single day, even when motivation is low. Discipline beats inspiration every time. Smart programming. Train with a plan that builds progressively so your body adapts without breaking down. Proper nutrition. Fuel your body like a performance machine. What you eat determines how well you recover and grow. Mental toughness. The mind quits before the body does. Build mental resilience the same way you build muscle. Understanding the modern military fitness test. Each branch of the United States military has its own physical fitness test with its own exercises, scoring standards, and passing requirements. They share a common thread. They are measuring your aerobic endurance, your muscular endurance, and your overall physical readiness. But the specific events and passing scores differ meaningfully from branch to branch. The Army uses what is called the Army Combat Fitness Test. It replaced the older Army Physical Fitness Test and includes 6 events: a 3-repetition maximum deadlift, a standing power throw using a 10-pound medicine ball, hand-release push-ups, a sprint and drag and carry obstacle, a leg tuck or plank hold, and a 2-mile run. The Army designed this test to better reflect the physical demands of actual combat rather than just general fitness. The Marine Corps uses the physical fitness test, which includes pull-ups or push-ups, crunches or a plank hold, and a 3-mile run. Marines are known for having some of the most demanding standards of any branch, and the 3-mile run in particular separates casual runners from truly fit individuals. The Navy uses the physical readiness test, which includes push-ups, curl-ups, or a plank hold, and a 1.5-mile run or a swimming option. The Navy also emphasizes overall body composition alongside performance scores. The Air Force uses what it calls the fitness assessment, which includes push-ups, sit-ups, or a plank, and a 1.5-mile run. The Air Force added abdominal circumference measurement as a component as well, meaning that body composition is scored alongside performance. The Space Force, being the newest branch, uses essentially the same fitness assessment structure as the Air Force for now, as the two branches share administrative systems. The Coast Guard uses a similar combination of push-ups, sit-ups, and a 1.5-mile run with age and gender adjusted scoring tables. The standards, what you actually need to score. Let us get into the actual numbers. Understanding the minimum passing standards and the scores that mark true peak performance gives you a target. Without a target, training is just moving around, hoping something improves. Army, that ages 17 to 21, men. To pass the Army combat fitness test, a young male soldier needs to deadlift at least 140 pounds for 3 reps, complete at least 10 hand release push ups, hold a plank for at least 2 minutes, and run 2 miles in under 22 minutes. A perfect score requires significantly more from each event. The top performers in this age group run 2 miles in under 13 minutes and deadlift well over 200 pounds. Army, ages 17 to 21, women. Young female soldiers must deadlift at least 120 pounds, complete at least 10 hand release push ups, hold a plank for at least 2 minutes, and run 2 miles in under 23 minutes and 30 seconds. Peak performers in this category run closer to 15 minutes and lift substantially more weight. Marine Corps, ages 17 to 26, men. Male Marines in the youngest age group must complete at least 3 pull-ups, 100 crunches in 2 minutes, and run 3 miles in under 28 minutes to achieve a minimum passing score. To score at the maximum level, they need 23 pull-ups, 100 crunches, and a 3-mile run in 18 minutes. The 3-mile run is the defining challenge for most people training for this test. Marine Corps, ages 17 to 26, women. Female Marines in the same age group must complete at least 1 pull-up or 15 push-ups, 100 crunches in 2 minutes, and run 3 miles in under 36 minutes for a minimum pass. Peak performance requires 7 pull-ups and a 3-mile time under 26 minutes. Navy, ages 17 to 19, men. Young male sailors must complete 42 push-ups in 2 minutes, 50 curl-ups in 2 minutes, and run 1.5 miles in under 12 minutes and 30 seconds. Excellence in this age group means pushing over 80 push-ups, 100 curl-ups, and a run time around 9 minutes. Air Force, ages 25 and under, men. Male airmen in this group need to complete at least 33 push-ups, 38 sit-ups, and run 1.5 miles in under 13 minutes and 36 seconds. A perfect score requires 57 or more push-ups and a run time under 8 minutes and 50 seconds. Standards for the 30s, 40s, and beyond. One of the most encouraging truths about military fitness testing is that the standards are adjusted by age group. This is not a concession to weakness. It is an acknowledgement that the human body changes over decades, and that a 45-year-old who can run 1.5 miles in 12 minutes is demonstrating an exceptional level of fitness for their age group, even if a 19-year-old has a faster minimum standard to meet. For Army soldiers between the ages of 32 and 36, the 2-mile run time for men shifts to 24 minutes for a passing score. Women in the same age bracket have until 25 minutes and 30 seconds. The deadlift minimums remain similar, but the scoring tables reflect the biological reality that peak power production often declines modestly in the mid-30s. For the Marine Corps, men between the ages of 36 and 40 still need to complete pull-ups and the full 3-mile run, but their minimum pull-up count drops to 3 and their run time window extends to 30 minutes. Women in that same age group have more generous push-up and run time allowances. What matters is that performance standards at every age level still require genuine cardiovascular fitness and muscular endurance. There is no easy path regardless of age bracket. For the Navy and Air Force, the 1.5-mile run time standards extend progressively with each age bracket. A male Navy sailor between the ages of 40 and 44 needs to run that distance in under 14 minutes and 45 seconds. A woman in the same group needs under 17 minutes. These are genuinely challenging targets for someone who has not trained, but they are absolutely achievable with 12 to 16 weeks of structured preparation. The military does not ask you to be young, it asks you to be ready. Ready means trained, fueled, and mentally committed at every age. Training foundation. Building the base, the foundation. Every program shares. Before we build branch specific programs, we need to establish the training foundation that applies to everyone, regardless of which branch they are preparing for. Think of this foundation as the ground floor of a building. You cannot put up walls until the foundation is solid, and you cannot chase peak performance numbers until your body has the base fitness to handle increasing load and volume. The foundation has four pillars: aerobic base building, muscular endurance development, mobility and flexibility work, and recovery management. Most people focus only on the first two and skip the last two entirely. That is a mistake that leads to injury, plateau, and burnout. All four pillars work together, and neglecting any one of them will slow your progress significantly. Aerobic base building means spending the first 2 to 4 weeks of any training program doing easy, sustained cardio work. Easy means conversational pace. You should be able to hold a full sentence while running or rucking without gasping. This builds the cardiovascular engine that all your higher intensity work later will rely on. Most beginners want to sprint on day one. Resist that urge completely. The engine has to be built before it can be pushed. Muscular endurance development means training the specific muscles used in push-ups, pull-ups, sit-ups, and leg-intensive movements through moderate resistance and high repetition work. This is different from strength training in a traditional sense. You are not trying to lift the heaviest weight possible. You are training your muscles to perform reliably over many repetitions without failing. Exactly what a fitness test requires. These four stages work in concert. Build them together over the first 4 weeks, and every branch-specific program that follows will deliver dramatically better results. Army program. Training program for the Army Combat Fitness Test. Men ages 17 to 26. The Army Combat Fitness Test is the most comprehensive of all the branch tests because it includes a true strength component in the deadlift and the medicine ball throw. This means your training program needs to blend strength work, power development, muscular endurance, and aerobic conditioning all at the same time. That sounds like a lot, but when programmed correctly, it flows naturally across a weekly schedule. This 12-week program is designed for men between the ages of 17 and 26 who are targeting a strong passing score and working toward peak performance numbers. If you are a complete beginner, spend 2 extra weeks on the foundation phase before starting week 1 here. Weeks 1 through 4, building the engine. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday are your primary training days. Monday focuses on lower body strength and power. Perform 4 sets of 8 body weight squats, progressing to goblet squats with a moderate weight. 4 sets of 8 Romanian deadlifts, starting light and adding weight each week, and 2 sets of 30-second power jump sequences where you explode from a quarter squat to a full jump landing softly. Tuesday and Thursday are your run days. Week 1 runs are 25 minutes at conversational pace. By week 4, your Tuesday runs reach 35 minutes and your Thursday runs include 4 rounds of 2 minutes at a comfortably hard pace, followed by 3 minutes of easy jogging. Wednesday also includes core and upper body work. 3 sets of as many push-ups as you can do with good form, rest 90 seconds, repeat. Add a plank hold at the end of every session for 30 seconds, building to 60 seconds by week 4. Weeks 5 through 8. Building the speed and strength. Your deadlift work now progresses to heavy sets of 3 to 5 reps. Your push-up volume increases with time sets. Your runs now include interval sessions where you push hard for 3 minutes and recover for 2, repeating that cycle 6 to 8 times. Your long run on the weekend reaches 45 minutes to an hour at an easy pace. Saturday is your 2-mile time trial day every other week. Track your progress honestly. Weeks 9 through 12, peaking and test simulation. This phase sharpens everything. Your strength work maintains intensity but reduces volume slightly to allow for recovery. Your run intervals get shorter and faster. Every 2 weeks, you do a full mock test, deadlift, push-ups, plank, and a 2-mile run timed from start to finish. Week 12 ends with a full rest week before your actual test. Sleep, eat well, and trust the work. Army program. Training program for the Army Combat Fitness Test. Women ages 17 to 26. The program for women in this age bracket follows the same 12-week structure with important adjustments to account for differences in starting strength levels, upper body development timelines, and the specific scoring standards women are evaluated against. This program is not easier. It is calibrated correctly. Weeks 1 through 4, foundation and form. Upper body pulling and pushing strength is the most common challenge area for women beginning military training. Start every Monday with a push-up progression. Begin from your knees if necessary with no shame attached to that, and work toward 3 sets of 10 full push-ups by the end of week 4. Add band-assisted rows or ring rows to begin building the pulling strength needed for potential pull-up work later. Lower body work mirrors the men's program, Romanian deadlifts, goblet squats, and jump training. Runs begin at 20 minutes of easy jogging on Tuesday and Thursday and extend progressively. Weeks 5 through 8, increase in volume and intensity. Full push-ups should be achievable in sets of 10 to 15 by week 5. Increase your work in sets to 4. Add a resistance band pull-apart exercise to every warm-up to build rear shoulder and upper back resilience. Your deadlift weight increases weekly. Run intervals begin. 3 rounds of 3 minutes hard, followed by 3 minutes easy, building to 5 rounds by week 8. Your plank hold target is 90 seconds by the end of this phase. Weeks 9 through 12. Test simulation and peak. Full mock tests every 2 weeks. Focus on pacing your 2-mile run. The most common mistake women make on test day is going out too fast in the first half mile and dying in the final quarter mile. Practice running your target pace from the very first step. Your deadlift should be reaching its working maximum. Trust the taper in week 12 and arrive on test day fresh, fueled, and ready. Army program 30s and 40s. Army combat fitness test, men and women ages, 32 to 46. Training for military fitness in your 30s and 40s requires a smarter approach to recovery and programming than the aggressive volume-heavy plans used by younger recruits. This does not mean doing less total work. It means distributing that work more intelligently across the week so that your body has time to absorb training and come back stronger rather than grinding down into chronic fatigue. The fundamental rule for this age group is this: never train hard 2 days in a row. Your central nervous system and connective tissue need 48 hours between intense sessions. This is not optional. Violating this rule consistently is the single most common reason people in their 30s and 40s get hurt during military fitness preparation. The 12-week program for this group runs on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday schedule. Monday and Friday are strength and muscular endurance days. Wednesday is your interval run day. Saturday is your long, easy run. Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday are active recovery days, meaning a walk, gentle stretching, or yoga. Not sitting on the couch, but nothing that elevates your heart rate above a mild effort. Deadlift work begins lighter and progresses more slowly than the younger age group program. Form is more important than weight in this phase because disc health and hip mobility become genuine factors by the mid-30s. Push-up volume builds across 8 weeks before testing maximum sets. Plank holds begin at 45 seconds and build toward 2 minutes over the 12 weeks. Run pacing should be honest and conservative. Building a proper aerobic base takes 4 to 6 weeks in this age group, and rushing it leads to shin splints, knee pain, or worse. By week 8, men in this age group should be able to run 2 miles in under 24 minutes and hold a plank for 90 seconds. Women should be targeting a 2-mile time under 25 minutes and 30 seconds. These are passing scores, and from here the final 4 weeks push toward genuine peak performance within the adjusted scoring tables. Marine Corps program. Training program for the Marine Corps physical fitness test. Men ages 17 to 26. The Marine Corps physical fitness test is arguably the most demanding standard test in the military for raw upper body pulling strength because pull-ups are front and center. 23 pull-ups for a perfect score is a genuine athletic achievement that requires months of dedicated training for anyone who does not already train them regularly. The 3-mile run is also longer than any other branch test and demands a real aerobic base. This program takes both seriously. Weeks 1 through 4, pull-up foundation and run base. If you cannot yet do a single pull-up, start with negative pull-ups. Jump to the top position, chin above the bar, and lower yourself as slowly as possible. 3 sets of 5 negatives every Monday and Friday. Add band assisted pull ups on Wednesday. Run Tuesday and Thursday at easy conversational pace for 30 minutes. Do crunches in sets of 30 every training day. By week 4, you should complete 3 to 5 full pull ups. If you cannot, do not skip ahead. Stay in this phase until you can. Weeks 5 through 8, volume and speed building. Your pull up work shifts to greasing the groove, which means doing small sets frequently rather than grinding to failure. Do 3 pull ups every time you walk past a pull up bar. If you work from home, set a timer and do a set every 90 minutes. This method builds pull up volume without destroying your connective tissue. Run intervals begin on Wednesday, 4 rounds of 4 minutes at a comfortably hard pace, 2 minutes easy recovery. Saturday is your long run at easy pace, building from 4 miles to 6 miles across this phase. Weeks 9 through 12, maximizing pull ups and pacing the 3-mile run. Full mock tests every 2 weeks. Practice your pull up set without breaking, or one continuous set to exhaustion. Your goal by week 10 is 12 to 15 pull ups. The 3-mile run should be practiced at your target race pace. A solid goal for this age group is finishing in 22 to 24 minutes, which puts you in the upper scoring range. Week 12 is a taper week. Light movement, full sleep, clean eating, a Marine Corps program, training program for the Marine Corps physical fitness test. Women ages 17 to 26. Female Marines have the choice of pull-ups or push-ups on the physical fitness test. And this program will help you develop both so that you can make the best strategic choice on the test day. Pull-ups score higher at the maximum end but require more baseline strength. Push-ups have a lower ceiling in terms of maximum score but are achievable at high numbers for women who train them specifically. Know your strengths and play to them while still building up your weaker areas. Weeks 1 through 4, upper body development and 3-mile base. The 3-mile run will be the biggest physical challenge for most women beginning this program. Start your runs conservatively. Week 1 involves 3 easy runs of 25 minutes each. Do not walk unless you absolutely must, and if you must, that is fine. You will stop needing to within 2 weeks. Upper body work includes push-up progressions and band pull-ups or negative pull-ups 3 days per week. Core work means crunches in 3 sets of 30 every training day. Weeks 5 through 8, increasing run distance and upper body volume. Your easy runs extend to 40 minutes on Tuesday and Thursday. Saturday is your long run, moving from 4 to 6 miles. Your push-up working sets reach 4 sets of 20 to 30 reps. If you are pursuing pull-ups, you should be completing 3 to 5 full reps by week 6. Continue greasing the groove with pull-ups if possible. Crunch volume increases to 4 sets of 30 to 40 reps. Weeks 9 through 12, race pace and test simulation. Practice your 3-mile run at goal pace. The minimum passing time for women in this age group is 36 minutes, but a strong score is around 28 to 30 minutes. Train to run at 29 to 30 minutes so that passing feels effortless. Pull-ups should reach 5 to 8 reps for high scores. Week 12 is taper and rest. Arrive on test day having eaten well and slept 8 hours. Navy program, training program for the Navy physical readiness test. Men and women ages 17 to 25. The Navy physical readiness test focuses on push-ups, curl-ups, and a 1.5-mile run. At first glance, this seems like a shorter, simpler test than the Army or Marine Corps evaluations. But the Navy takes overall fitness seriously, and the 1.5-mile run time standards for top scores are genuinely fast, especially for the youngest age groups. A 9-minute, 1.5-mile run for men aged 17 to 19 is a 6-minute per mile pace. That is real speed that requires dedicated training. This 8-week program is aggressive by design because the Navy test has fewer events, meaning your training time is concentrated on 3 things done exceptionally well. Weeks 1 through 2, assessment and base building. On day 1, test your maximum push-ups, maximum curl-ups, and run 1.5 miles for time. Write these numbers down. They are your baseline. Nothing more, nothing less. Then begin your base program. Push ups and sets 3 times per week, curl ups with deliberate form every training day, and easy runs Monday and Thursday. Weeks 3 through 5, volume progression, push up sets increase by 2 reps per set every week. Curl up sets add 10 reps per week. Your Thursday run becomes an interval session, 5 rounds of 2 minutes at a hard pace, 2 minutes easy. Your Monday run extends to 30 to 40 minutes easy. By week 5, your push up count should be approaching your test goal. Weeks 6 through 8, peak and taper, 2 full mock tests in week 6 and week 7. Track every number. Your run pacing should be dialed in. Practice running your target 1.5 mile time at an even split, meaning the same pace for the first half mile as the last. Uneven splits cost time and feel terrible. Week 8 is a light week. Short, easy runs, half volume push ups and curl ups, extra sleep. Show up fresh. Push ups to pass. Minimum for men ages 17 to 19 in 2 minutes. Curl ups to pass. Minimum for men aged 17 to 19 in 2 minutes. Run time to pass. 1.5 mile minimum for men aged 17 to 19. Air Force program. Training program for the Air Force fitness assessment, men ages 25 and under. The Air Force fitness assessment measures push ups, sit ups, a 1.5 mile run, and abdominal circumference. The abdominal circumference measurement means that body composition training, meaning managing your weight through consistent diet and aerobic exercise, is as important as raw performance numbers. You can score perfectly on every performance event and still fail if your waist measurement exceeds the standard. This is the only branch test where diet discipline directly affects your pass or fail outcome at the assessment level. For men aged 25 and under, the push-up standard for a strong score is 57 or more in a minute. The sit-up standard is 53 or more in a minute. And the run standard for maximum points is under 8 minutes and 50 seconds for a 1.5 miles. The waist measurement standard for men is under 35 inches at the narrowest point of the abdomen. Weeks 1 through 3, form and base. Push-ups and sit-ups are performed daily with emphasis on perfect form. A push-up does not count on test day if your hips sag or your elbows flare wide. Sit-ups must use proper technique with fingers laced behind the head in full range of motion. Learn these standards before worrying about numbers. Run 3 times per week at easy pace. Focus on diet from day 1. Cut processed food, drink water, and eat protein at every meal. Weeks 4 through 7, volume and conditioning. Push-up volume reaches 4 sets of 20 to 25 with 90 seconds rest between sets. Sit-ups reach 4 sets of 30. Run intervals on Tuesday, 6 rounds of 90 seconds hard, 90 seconds easy. Long run Saturday reaches 35 to 40 minutes. The aerobic work combined with clean eating will naturally reduce abdominal measurements over this phase. Weeks 8 through 10, peak performance push. Timed 1-minute push-up and sit-up sets every training day. Run at goal pace on Wednesday. Full mock test in week 9. Measure your waist at the start and end of each week. By week 10, you should be solidly within the waist standard and performing above the minimum in all events. Week 10 ends with 3 days of active rest before your actual assessment. Air Force program. Training program for the Air Force fitness assessment. Women ages 25 and under. For women aged 25 and under in the Air Force, the minimum push-up requirement for passing is 18 in a minute, and peak performance requires 42 or more. The sit-up minimum is 38, and the peak is 46 or more. The 1.5 mile run minimum is under 18 minutes and 26 seconds, while peak performance requires a time under 10 minutes and 22 seconds. The waist circumference standard for women is under 31.5 inches. This 10-week program is designed to take a woman who meets the minimums in most areas and push her toward peak scores in all events while supporting the body composition goals that the waist measurement requires. Weeks 1 through 3. Foundation. Begin with push-up assessments to determine starting point. If your starting number is below 10, begin with inclined push-ups using a bench or table edge. performing 3 sets to near failure daily. Full push ups are the goal by week 3. Sit up work begins with 3 sets of 25 every training day, focusing on controlled movement. Run Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at easy pace. Nutrition starts now. Prioritize lean protein, vegetables, and whole grains. Minimize sugar and alcohol entirely. Weeks 4 through 7, progressive overload. Full push ups and 4 working sets 3 times per week. Sit up sets increase to 4 sets of 30. Your Tuesday run becomes interval work, 5 rounds of 2 minutes at a push pace, 2 minutes easy recovery. Saturday run extends to 40 minutes easy. Sleep 8 hours every night. This is not optional. Sleep is when your body repairs and grows. Skipping sleep for extra training sessions is a net negative for performance. Weeks 8 through 10, peak preparation, timed 1 minute push up and sit up sets every training day. Full mock test in week 9. Track your progress against peak score standards, not just minimums. By week 10, waist measurements should be approaching or within standard through the combination of aerobic work and clean nutrition. Taper week 10 into the assessment. Coast Guard program. Training program for the Coast Guard Physical Fitness Assessment. The Coast Guard Physical Fitness Assessment uses push-ups, sit-ups, and a 1.5 mile run with scoring tables adjusted by age and gender. The Coast Guard also conducts a swimming component for those in certain operational roles, making swimming fitness an important secondary consideration for many members. This program addresses both the standard test events and includes optional swimming conditioning for those who need it. For men aged 20 to 29, the passing standard is 30 push-ups in 1 minute, 38 sit-ups in 1 minute, and a 1.5 mile run in under 12 minutes and 51 seconds. Strong performance in this age group means over 50 push-ups, over 50 sit-ups, and a run time under 9 minutes. These are demanding numbers that require real preparation. This 10-week program for men and women across all Coast Guard age groups follows the same structural logic as the Air Force program. 3 strength and muscular endurance sessions per week, 3 run sessions per week, and daily core work, with adjustments for the specific standards of each age group. The key differentiation in Coast Guard training for operational roles is the addition of swimming. If you are in or preparing for a water-based operational role, add 2 pool sessions per week beginning in week 3. These sessions should begin with easy lap swimming at a comfortable freestyle pace for 20 minutes and build to 30 to 40 minutes of mixed strokes by week 8. Swimming builds cardiovascular fitness, strengthens the shoulders and upper back for push-up performance, and develops the breathing control that translates directly to better run times. Run training. 3 sessions per week, progressing from easy base runs to interval work. 1.5 mile pace work introduced in week 5. Push-up progression. Daily push-up work using volume sets 3 days, and recovery technique work on off days. Form first, number second. Optional swim training. For operational roles, 2 pool sessions per week from week 3, building aerobic capacity and shoulder strength. Core and sit-up work. Daily sit-up practice with proper form, supplemented by planks and hollow body holds to build deep core stability. Nutrition. Eating like a peak performer. Nutrition that fuels military fitness. No training program in the world will take you to peak performance if your nutrition is working against you. This is not about extreme dieting or counting every calorie with obsessive precision. It is about understanding what your body needs to perform, recover, and improve, and then giving it those things consistently, simple, sustainable, effective. The foundation of performance nutrition is protein. Every soldier, sailor, airman, Marine, and Coast Guardsman who is training seriously needs to eat enough protein to support muscle repair and growth. The target is approximately 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight per day. For a 180-pound man, that is 180 grams of protein spread across the day. Good protein sources include chicken breast, eggs, Greek yogurt, canned tuna, lean beef, cottage cheese, and beans. If you can hit your protein target through whole foods, great. If not, a protein shake once per day is a practical and effective supplement. Carbohydrates are your body's preferred fuel for high intensity work like interval runs and push up sets. The mistake many people make is cutting carbohydrates completely in an attempt to lose weight while simultaneously trying to improve their fitness performance. The result is that they feel terrible, perform poorly, and make far slower progress than they would have with adequate carbohydrate intake. Eat whole food carbohydrates, oats, brown rice, sweet potatoes, fruit, and whole grain bread. Time your largest carbohydrate portions around your training sessions, before for energy, after for recovery. Fats are essential for hormone health, joint function, and sustained energy. Focus on healthy fat sources: avocado, olive oil, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish like salmon. These support the testosterone and cortisol balance that directly affects your ability to build muscle and recover from hard training. Do not be afraid of fat. Be afraid of processed food, fast food, and sugar sweetened beverages. Those are the real performance killers. Hydration is arguably the single most underrated performance factor across the board. Being even slightly dehydrated, so as little as 2% of your body weight in water loss, reduces aerobic performance, impairs coordination, and increases perceived effort, meaning the same run feels significantly harder when you are dehydrated. Drink water consistently throughout the day, not just during training. A simple target is half your body weight in pounds converted to ounces. A 180-pound person should drink 90 ounces of water per day at minimum. Nutrition. What to eat before, during, and after training. Before training, eat a moderate meal 1.5 to 2 hours before training. Include a solid portion of carbohydrates and a moderate protein serving. Something like oatmeal with a scoop of protein powder, or rice with chicken and vegetables. Avoid heavy fat or fiber right before training, as these slow digestion and can cause discomfort mid-workout. If training early in the morning with limited time, a banana and a small protein source like Greek yogurt 30 minutes out works well. After training, the 30 to 60 minutes after training is when your muscles are most ready to absorb nutrients for repair and growth. Eat a meal or shake with 30 to 50 grams of protein and a good portion of carbohydrates. A protein shake with a banana and a glass of milk is simple and effective. A full meal of chicken with rice and vegetables is ideal if you have time. Do not skip post-training nutrition. This is when your training adaptations are built. The rest of your daily meals should simply focus on hitting your protein target, eating primarily whole foods, and staying hydrated. You do not need a complicated meal plan. You need consistency with the basics. Eat the same kinds of foods on most days. Build meals from protein, a carbohydrate source, and vegetables. Repeat. That is the system that peak performers across every level of military fitness use, and it works. Protein. Every meal. Target 1 gram per pound of body weight per day. Spread it across 3 to 4 meals for best absorption and sustained muscle repair. Carbohydrates around training. Eat your biggest carbohydrate servings before and after training sessions. Cut back on carbohydrates on rest days. Healthy fats daily. Include 1 to 2 servings of healthy fat per day for hormonal health and joint support. Avocado, olive oil, and nuts are your best options. Hydrate constantly. Half your body weight in ounces of water per day. Add electrolytes on heavy training days or in hot weather to replace what you sweat out. Recovery. The secret weapon: sleep, recovery, and mental toughness. Here's the truth that most training advice glosses over entirely. You do not actually get stronger or faster during training. You get stronger and faster during recovery. Training is the stimulus. Recovery is where the adaptation happens. If you train hard and recover poorly, you are spinning your wheels and risking injury. If you train smart and recover well, your body responds with genuine improvements in strength, speed, and endurance every single week. Sleep is the most powerful recovery tool available to you, and it costs nothing. 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep per night is not a luxury for people training for military fitness tests. It is a requirement. During deep sleep, your body releases growth hormone, repairs muscle tissue, consolidates motor patterns learned during training, and resets the nervous system for the next day of effort. Study after study confirms that sleep deprived athletes perform significantly worse, recover more slowly, and are far more likely to get injured. If you are training hard, but sleeping 5 or 6 hours per night, you are leaving enormous amounts of progress on the table. Active recovery on your off days is the second piece. Light walking, gentle stretching, foam rolling tight muscles, and easy mobility work keep blood flowing to sore muscles and accelerate the removal of metabolic waste products that accumulate during hard training. Sitting completely still on rest days prolongs soreness and stiffness. Moving gently speeds recovery. A 20-minute walk after dinner on your rest day is one of the most underrated training habits a military fitness candidate can develop. Mental toughness deserves its own conversation. Physical fitness tests are won or lost in the final moments, the last quarter mile of a run, the final 10 push-ups when your chest is burning, the moment you want to put the medicine ball down early. Training your mind to stay in those uncomfortable moments rather than retreating from them is a skill that can be deliberately developed. Practice breathing through discomfort during training. When you feel like stopping a run, negotiate with yourself 10 more seconds at this pace, then another 10, then another. You will find that you can always do more than the first impulse to stop suggests. Recovery is not a break from training. Recovery is training. The athlete who masters rest is the athlete who improves fastest. Mindset, the average person becoming exceptional. It is simpler than you think. Let us come back to where we started. The average person can become a peak performer, not through some genetic gift, not through a secret program, and not through grinding themselves into the ground 7 days a week. The average person becomes exceptional by doing the same right things in the same right order consistently over time. That is the entire formula. It is almost embarrassingly simple when you say it out loud. The reason most people never reach their potential is not that they lack the physical capability. It is that they lack the structure to know what to do each day and the consistency to do it even when they do not feel like it. The programs in this episode give you the structure. What you bring is the consistency. Nobody can hand you that. But if you are listening to this, you clearly want it. And wanting it genuinely is the first step that separates the people who change from the people who just talk about changing. Here's something important to understand about the military fitness test journey. When you train for these tests properly, something happens that goes beyond passing a physical evaluation. Your confidence changes. The way you walk into a room changes. The way you handle stress changes. Because every single morning that you showed up for your training session when it was hard, when it was cold, when you were tired, when you did not feel like it, or you were building evidence that you are the kind of person who does hard things. That evidence accumulates. It becomes your identity. And your identity determines everything else about how you show up in the world. The men and women who score at the highest levels on military fitness tests are not superhuman. They are ordinary people who decided to take their preparation seriously, built a plan, followed it with discipline, fueled themselves correctly, slept with intention, and refused to let one bad training day convince them the whole process was not working. That is it. You have every single thing you need to do the same thing. The only question is whether you will start today. Choose your branch and know your standards. Look up the exact scoring tables for your branch, age group, and gender. Print them out. Know the minimum and the maximum. Aim for the maximum. Pick a program and follow it exactly. Use the program from this episode that matches your branch and age group. Do not skip days. Do not add extra sessions out of impatience. Trust the process. Fix your nutrition. Starting today. Hit your protein target. Eat whole foods. Drink your water. These 3 habits alone will accelerate your progress by a meaningful margin over any training plan running on poor nutrition. Protect your sleep. 8 hours is your target. Set a bedtime and honor it the same way you honor your training schedule. Your gains are made while you sleep. Run mock tests every 2 weeks. Simulating the test conditions trains your pacing, your psychology, and your body to perform under pressure. Do not wait for test day to find out how you perform. Final words. Episode 98. Closing. That is everything. For episode 98 of the Peak Performance Podcast, we covered every branch, every major age group, and the nutrition and recovery principles that tie it all together. This is a reference episode. Bookmark it, come back to it, share it with someone who is about to start their military fitness journey. Everything you need to dominate your next physical fitness evaluation is in these pages. Peak performance is not reserved for the elite. It belongs to the committed. It belongs to the person who reads this, puts down their phone, laces up their shoes, and goes for a run. It belongs to you if you want it badly enough to do the work every day until the work pays off. And it always pays off. Always. This has been Brad Young on the Peak Performance Podcast. Episode 99 drops next week. Until then, train smart, eat well, sleep enough, and never forget that every single one of the standards we talked about today was designed to be achievable by an ordinary person with extraordinary commitment. Be that person. I will see you in the next one.